So on fourth down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
Down. Black 22. Black 22.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Nifty move. A second fake. He's got daylight. The 20. And he's way down into Dallas territory inside the Cowboy 15. A huge play there for Houston. 63 yards on the ground. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A great play there. A 13-yard touchdown. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll kick it away for the second time. Taking it about the 16. Able to push his way through. So dangerous with a football in his hands. Call that a return of 38. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over first and 10. Heading out as the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
To throw on second is Watson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Now they'll run it on the toss. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. 34 yards there and a first down.
How about our reigning AFC Player of the Week, hot-footing it into the secondary on that run?
Yeah, nice long run. That's what got him the award a week ago. Maybe he's trying for 2 in a row here this week. Watson now to throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Valvin away and bring up second down.
Here's Watson now on second down. And he's in. It's a Houston Texans touchdown. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about?
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to kick it away. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. Just a 25-yard punt, not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And the Texans will take over with a first and 10. And now out comes Houston. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
He finds an opening past the 40. And he takes it across the 50 to the 46-yard line. 25 yards the pickup there and also a first down. So from Cowboy territory now, here's first and 10 at the 46. Now they'll run it on the toss. He'll get this to the 40. Sweet little juke in there. Got him some extra yardage. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runners get.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there. Doing it again with his 3rd touchdown here in the opening quarter. And the Texans will extend their lead. He's on pace now for... Now they'll run it on the toss. Room to run inside the 40. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. On his way to a historic performance. 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Texans... Now they'll run it on the toss. And now running right through it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down. Right back to him on first down. Oh, and now he bowls him over. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. On second down, here's Watson. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Now a handoff looking right. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. Now they'll run it on the toss. Space to run past the 20. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A great play there. 34 yards. And the Texans will extend their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for...
Now they'll run it on the toss. Breaks the tackle, now an alley. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Now Watson to throw on second down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down. the toss. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That last completion certainly not what they were hoping for, as now they'll try to convert on 3rd.
Hey, 4 down, 4 down.
Now they'll run it on the toss. He's got the first down inside the 10. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there. A 21-yard touchdown run. And the Texans... Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will perhaps get back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. In time.
Down. Black 22.
Now they'll run it on the toss. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
4 down, 4 down. Down. Blue 80.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down.
Hey. 4 down, 4 down. Check.
Now they'll run it on the toss. 20. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. 44 yards. And the Texans. Now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home, because that's what it's been like throughout this contest.
He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. Past the 20. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A great play there. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Texans add on. Well called, well blocked, and then he just made a great play. That was an athlete going. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. We've seen him be good so far. He's hoping to continue that trend here in quarter number 3.
And typically when you see guys running it this well, they see the game in slow motion, don't they? They see the cuts happen, they see the blocks happen, they feel really good about their vision, and then they use their legs to find that open space.
And he's had some good help up front to boot. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 31 yards there and a first down.
You got 4. Watch
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for him.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there. 29 yards. And the Texans continue to pour it on.
I can't help it, partner. I love backs who have a lot of burst.
Yeah, they ran the toss play. Now they'll run it on the toss. And they're running right through it. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down. Right back to him on first down. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down. Now they'll run it on the toss. The 20. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. 46 yards. And the Texans add on. So another score there. Often you talk about the three phases of the game. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on here to punt it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. And now out comes Houston. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and the big yardage all night long.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And he's got room. Accelerating, and off he goes. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A great play there. He flat out can't be stopped. And the Texans continue to pour it on.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. And now out comes Houston. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, you know, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating. and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right?
Yes,
As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Now they'll run it on the toss. And some room to roam now. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this fourth quarter. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up first and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. Finding room to the 20. Gets past him, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone...
Now they'll run it on the toss. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
4 down.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they?
Guys, last time we were out here, coaching staff didn't like what we saw. You all know it wasn't good enough. So let's make up for that today and have a great one. I know you got it in you. So let me... Hey! Blue 80! Blue 80! man, listen, great job today. It was a step in the right direction for you and this team. And as long as you keep moving in the right direction, we're going to be just fine.
Down! Blue 80!
Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see the Buffalo Bills and their rookie quarterback drafted 7th overall, Josh Allen, face off with Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. The scene from a few moments ago, this crowd enthusiastically cheering on their Texans as they emerge from the locker room. And we're just about ready for football as the Texans get set to match up with the Buffalo Bills. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. They're off to a terrific start, unbeaten at 5-0 through the first month and change.
And you can hang a lot of this early success on their defense, too. They're the tone setters for these guys, and the entire team feeds off of what they do.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Bills, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, what a juke into space. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there. 75 yards. And the Texans have taken the early lead. And maybe starting the campaign for another Offensive Player of the Week award in the AFC.
Yeah, strike up the band, right? They're going to lead him along, and the band being that offensive line, he's locked into the rhythm of what they're doing up front, and he's definitely off to that great start.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. Oh, another beautiful move.
Man, that's better than the two-step, isn't it?
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Texans are in for 6. He told us he was going to hit the end zone a couple times in this game. I just don't know that he envisioned doing it in the first quarter.
He probably did. I'm not sure we did, yeah. Right? Because all the great ones, that's what they do. They dream.
Here's Brad Wing now to punt it away on fourth down.
Let's go, guys.
And it's taken in at the 9. That looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
Four down. Hey, back 22.
Now they'll run it on the toss. He won't go down. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A great play there. Doing it again with his 3rd touchdown here in the opening quarter. And the Texans will add on to their lead. Here's Brad Wing now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Pulled in at the 24. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
Oh, look at the juke. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Tackle made there by Jordan Poyer. Boy, that's a lot of sirloin steak to be taken down for no gain, partner.
Are you trying to suggest that he is a huge man?
He is
not just a big man, a huge man.
Big boy.
Well, how about the credit then for the defense to be able to chop that big tree and put him on the ground?
I know back when you played, it took 4 of you to take a guy like that down, right?
Well, that's for sure. And you know what else? I didn't want to challenge him at dinner either.
Almost unstoppable on the ground there, as that one is good for 39. Now they'll run it on the toss. Sharp move, but can't find much space. Drop just inside the 20. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. So as they take it over, we step aside. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action.
Four down. Hey, blue 80.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there. What is going on here? 4 first-quarter touchdowns. Unbelievable. And the Texans will extend their lead. Now they'll run it on the toss. Sidesteps him at the 35. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. 75 yards. And the Texans will add on to their lead. And those are the highlight reel runs you dream of right there. Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, able to avoid him. And now nothing but green ahead of him. 20. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A great play there. 75 yards. And the Texans will extend their lead. Well, they ran the toss, trusting he had the speed to get to the edge, and he did.
And there really wasn't any doubt about that because the scouting report told you that this guy...
Here's Brad Wing now as he's on to punt for Buffalo. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And he fields it cleanly. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
He doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. That one good for 33 and a first.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. But they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Right back to him on first down. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a third and about 4.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there. Taking it in from 11 yards out. And the... Here's Brad Wing now. He's been terrific so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded just inside the 20. Pushing his way through. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A great blocking, nearly sprung in there. 28-yard return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
Hey. Black 22. Black.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. So we've come upon halftime here in Houston, and it's the home team, the Texans, leading this one. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll start with one that had to happen this year. The 50th anniversary season of Super Bowl III. The Colts in New York to take on the...
And okay, so much. Here's Brad Wing now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And take it right on the 30. 31 yards on the punt there. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
Defense,
we've
got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see what the offense gets done.
And he'll take it across midfield and into Buffalo territory. Up to make the play defensively, Tre'Davious White. Now they'll run it on the toss. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Tremaine Edmonds there to bring him down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the 1st down. Now they'll run it on the toss. Evades him at the 20. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there. 33 yards. Now they'll run it on the toss. Room here to run. And bulldozing his way through. A big hitter there. A 1st down gain of 26 yards.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle? And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A big play there. 49 yards. And the Texans continue to pour it on. Here's Brad Wing now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Fielded at about the 28. That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now out comes Houston. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because...
And nothing but daylight ahead. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there. 65 yards. And the Texans add on. And on that long run... Here's Brad Wing now, as he's on to punt for Buffalo. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. What a spin. Oh, and now he bowls him over. Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Houston, and this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
Black 22! Black 22!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down. Now they'll run it on the toss. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A great play there. Find it. Here's Brad Wing now as he's on to punt for Buffalo. It's taken to the 26. So possession goes over here on the punt. And now out comes Houston. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. He flat out can't be stopped. And the Texans continue to pour it on.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's going. She's full. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down. Right back to him on first down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to be met at about the 43. 2 yards gets them back to where they started, but now 3rd and 10.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Past the 20. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And able to use his stiff arm for a little bit of leverage before he's taken down. A pretty good gain. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. He'll get it up the middle, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
And now we've hit...
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Now whistles and a timeout called here. Not sure of the point of this, but they'll stop it with 4 seconds to go in the game. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll take it across midfield and into Buffalo territory. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's
go, let's go. On the hop, fellas, on the hop. Who wants it? See some hustle out there today. Got a big game this.
Down. Green, the line. Green. Set. Black. Green, the line. Down. Set. Black. Down. Black. Down. Black 22. Red. Down. Down. Green. Down. Black. Set. Blue eight. Red. Green. Red. Blue eight. Set. Blue eight. Red. Green. Down. Blue eight. Down. Blue 80. Blue 80.
All right, gentlemen. You must have had your hopes this morning because today was a great practice. The coaching staff, we can't ask for much more.
Matching hundreds. Well, it's the coach. This is the 2000.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there. 79 yards. And the Texans have taken the early. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
Yeah, baby, that's what I'm talking about. All day. All day.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a 1st down throw, Watson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's taken down inside the 30. 10 more there and another 1st down. They'll give it to the first option here. That's the fullback, Prosh. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain.
Offside, defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it?
down.
Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Hey. Go down.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Skirts by at the 15. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. So on 4th down, as seen on TV, here's their resident strongman, John Ryan, on to punt. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And we'll see what he can do on the return. 21 yards. Well done on the return. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. Man, those numbers from last week. What do you call a game like that? Monumental? A career game?
Yeah, every one of those adjectives you can pull up. Monumental, mammoth, massive. but you also know that he wants another one just like it in this game. He doesn't plan on slowing down.
Man, if he duplicates that, that would be history. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Now they'll run it on the toss. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. Doing it again with his 3rd touchdown here in the opening quarter. And the Texans will add on to their lead. Now they'll run it on the toss. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the 1st quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
Running game working, they'll stick with it on 1st down. And he's going to be brought down on what'll be the final play of this 1st quarter. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out. Now they'll run it on the toss. Finding room inside the 40. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there. On his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Texans will extend their lead. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just one. Now they'll run it on the toss. Space to maneuver at the 40. And he's into the clear. The 20. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A great play there. 75 yards. And the Texans will add on to their lead.
When you know you've got a home.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. Now they'll run it on the toss. They juked him. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still...
There he goes left side. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. 71 yards. And the Texans will extend their lead. Here's John Ryan now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And here comes the Texans now. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
Now, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? But everything is working for them, and every move they make works. It clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
44,
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now they'll run it on the toss. Shifts by him. Nice move at the 40. It's a foot race. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big play there just before halftime. 66 yards. They've been practicing goal line offense all week. Let's see if they're able to capitalize here. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Texans touchdown. A great effort there in the final seconds of the 1st half. And the Texans will add. Now they'll run it on the toss. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, and sometimes that just happens. It is the NFL. They will make some plays against you.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again. Now they'll run it on the toss. Dances by him. And now off to the races down the right side. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there. 42 yards. Here's John Ryan now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. And now out comes Houston. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now.
53's the mic. 53. Check 53.
Right back to him on 1st down. Shifts past him. He's got the lane, and there he goes. And he takes it into the end zone across the chalk. Now, there is a flag down, but I think that's offsides on the defense.
Yeah, I think that's going to stand, partner.
Offside, defense.
And yes, they want the
penalty is
points, so
declined.
they will decline the penalty, no question there.
You don't think they spent a couple of seconds more?
Here's John Ryan now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. This will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Four down, check. Hey, back 22. Back.
Now they'll run it on the toss. He's got room to run past the 20. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. Back now in Jacksonville. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first-and-goal situation. Now they'll run it on the toss. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal.
They're right there at the one. No gain, but don't let that stop you. Line back up and keep going at it.
And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. A great effort there. Taking it in. And the Texans add on. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive. And how about...
Here's John Ryan now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And Charles, in a very one-sided affair, I think we've reached the point in the broadcast where you and I, we may have some filling to do, right?
Yeah, I think you're right about that because we got to try and keep people around. We don't want them to change the channel. Stay with us in this game. Is that Ben Ramsar? Are you hearing from Ben on the headset here? Tell us, stretch this thing out a little bit.
Get some talking points. Dig them all out.
That's what you get. A big-time producer. Keep them here.
A big-time play there for the Texans. 41 yards. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, nice move. Oh, one more time.
Won't he just stand still?
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A great play there. Finding the end zone yet again. And the Texans continue to pour it on.
That long run for a touchdown is a great example of if you get it back to the second level, anything can result, and it's usually something good.
Here's John Ryan now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville.
Let's go, guys.
This is brought in at the 21. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Here's Watson. Now they go screen. It's complete. And now running right through it. Give them 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like total at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. That one goes for 24 yards. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys?
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
I know the...
There it is, kid. There it is. Yeah, baby. Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move. 4 down, 4 down.
After the interception, here's Watson. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this fourth quarter. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's second and goal. They come up in an offset eye.
Back 22.
Here's Watson looking to throw on second down. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Time for a break. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got it 3rd and goal here as they try to finish off their victory. Now it's Watson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Yeah, you're so right because you really need the...
Throwing now, Watson. Now they go screen. It's complete. Oh, and now he bowls him over. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Gets around him. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feeling.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Texans, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they'll return home next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, they fall a game under.